I like to start each new year of WxYz with a look back at the memorable weather of the past year in the state. Overall, last year wasn't as extreme as 2006, which was one of the 10 wettest and 15 warmest years on record, but '07 did have its share of weather highlights. Now, in contrast to this winter, which has already had a few accumulating snows, last winter started nearly snowless. In fact, here's the date of the first 1-inch snow last winter. It didn't come until January 30th in Williamsport, just a few days shy of the record. Harrisburg didn't get their first inch until Groundhog Day, and it took until the middle of February to get an inch of snow in Philadelphia. And it was that Valentine's Day storm that was arguably the biggest weather story in the state last year. It did dump a lot of snow, as much as 20 inches, with a foot common in the mountains and along the northern tier counties. But the storm will be most remembered for the problems it caused on the roads, especially in the southeast where there was a lot of freezing rain. Hundreds of drivers spent a frigid night marooned in their vehicles on an icy stretch of Interstate 78 between Allentown and I-81. The National Guard was even called in to deliver supplies to the stranded motorists. All told, about 150 miles of highway were closed at some point, including parts of I-80 and I-81. Severe weather-wise, the year was a bit slower than average. Just 6 tornadoes were reported, all of them weak, rated EF1 or EF0. The average is about 15 per year. None of the tornadoes touched down southeast of the mountains, which is rather unusual. Overall, there were reports of severe weather on 52 different days. The average during the Doppler radar era is just over 60. Most of those days were in June, July, and August, which is typical. One of the busiest severe weather days was June 8th. A squall line of gusty thunderstorms moved quickly west to east across the state, with 73 reports of large hail or damaging wind spread across 53 counties from Erie in the northwest to Montgomery in the southeast. Now, it may not seem like it, but last year was a bit wetter than average statewide, despite an untimely dry spell in early summer. Now, here's the departure from average precipitation during the 3-month period May to July. Nearly the entire state was down at least 3 inches, and the areas in red here were down 4 to 6 inches during that time period. In fact, a drought watch was issued on August 6th for 58 counties. Now, the counties have changed a bit since then, but as of today, 53 counties are still officially under a drought watch, though I suspect at least some of these will be removed soon. Finally, the big news in the fall was the mild October. 6 to 8 degrees above average statewide. In fact, it was the warmest October on record in 5 locations: State College, Williamsport, Harrisburg, Allentown, and Philadelphia. The new year has certainly started on the cold side of average. Paul's back in a moment with the extended forecast to tell us whether the chill will last into next week.